Happy Saturday, y'all. Hopefully that was a nice little soothing little bit of music to get your Saturday kicked off right. Don't mind the Publix market toad in the back. Hashtag not an ad. That's why I bring my stuff in order. Oh, what a Saturday we have. Good morning, Joy. Record highs in Wisconsin this week. Oh my goodness, winter storm watch. We get crazy weather here in the Carolinas, but thankfully we're not dealing with that. Today is actually going to be really, really great. So if anyone has outdoor plans on Saturday, chef's kiss to the forecast today. The only thing that would make it better, honestly, is if it was dry outside. You can see views from Monroe, Dallas, Kannapolis. It is a little bit on the cloudy side for a few folks still, but we're still seeing a lot of sunshine. So the clouds will be pretty minimal overall this morning. And of course, we are mostly sunny this afternoon. No rain to track. We are dry and quiet, and temperatures today are going to be great. If you are heading out to, Charlotte FC at 7:30, that's kickoff. First pitch for the Charlotte Knights is at 6:05. The weather looks great. Again, the only thing that would truthfully make it better is if it wasn't so muggy. It's muggy for April standards, so it's not necessarily like what you would see during the summertime. So I'm not worried about that. And you can see I got my perfect blue on for Charlotte FC and the Charlotte Knights. So great, right? That they're kind of all the same colors now, so I don't have to worry about, you know, getting roasted for wearing blue versus gold. But we got black and blue all over the place. Good to go. So first pitch of or kickoff that is sorry at 7:30 p.m. today for Charlotte FC. Here's your forecast: 80 degrees by 4 or 5 o'clock. We're in the upper 70s. For kickoff, I would say somewhere between 77 to 73, just because it is officially at 7:30. And then we are clear overnight. Winds out of the southwest 5 to 10 really shouldn't impact your day at all, other than the fact that it's one of the many reasons why we are going to be so warm and muggy today. So this is kind of how we have our setup, and I know you can't see my mouse here, but we have the trough of low pressure. That's what's shaded in the black on the right hand portion of your screen. That's what moved through yesterday and brought us the storms. A high pressure system down to our south near North Florida, and then a cold front approaching from the west. So because of the high in its position, we have a southwesterly wind. Those are those orange kind of little wind barbs you see, and that southwesterly wind is what's helping pump in all the warmth, all the mugginess into our area from the Gulf of Mexico. So that's why we are so warm. This is oftentimes called warm air advection. It happens before a cold front moves through, but we're kind of sandwiched between two cold fronts as well, which is also one of the reasons why we are going to likely see a little bit more of a breeze tomorrow as the secondary front moves through. Here's it approaching tomorrow morning. We're mostly dry Sunday morning as storms will be moving through Atlanta and the upstate of South Carolina. Then the storms come in for us mostly in the afternoon time frame. And as quickly as they move in, man, they are moving out. And this front, the second one that comes through tomorrow, is where we'll get a little bit of that drier air mixing in. So we are going to see some relief from the mugginess. Because I grew up in Atlanta, which is very similar weather to Charlotte, and also moved here from Florida, this humidity is not necessarily as bad as that, but I have naturally curly hair, so my hair gets really, really frizzy. So if you're dealing with this too, I promise you, I feel you. Plus, oftentimes, of course, when it's warm a little bit early, we have to run the AC that runs our bills up. There's positives and negatives, right, to everything weather related. Weekend games forecast for the Knights. Again, I mentioned today's weather looks great. Their first pitch is at 6:05. It's actually tomorrow that things will get a little bit dicey, maybe for the end of the game. So first pitch tomorrow is at 1:05 on Sunday. Temperature still in the upper 70s, so it's still going to be muggy. The reason why I wouldn't say concerned, but I'm really targeting tomorrow afternoon is because the game would likely be wrapping up its innings at the same time that we could see a few storms kind of moving into the Charlotte metro. So here's the timing. So we're clear from mostly any kind of cloud coverage this afternoon in Charlotte. And then tomorrow morning, you'll notice a little bit of cloud cover creeping in from the west. We could see a few areas of patchy fog, but that'll be away from the main line of storms coming in. So by 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, we are still largely dry. It's mostly as we approach closer to 2, 3 p.m., and more so by 4 and 5 o'clock that we start to see a few of these storms kind of scattered and approaching. You'll notice as we go hour by hour, the current Futurecast model has storms right around the Charlotte area, uptown, right at 5 o'clock. So in theory, the Charlotte Knights game could be over by then because it starts at 1, depending on, on how many innings it goes into. But people may be out lingering in uptown. They may be walking to their car, taking the light rail, and eventually walking back. I just want everyone to kind of be aware that there is at least the chance that we could see a few storms. Now, it's not a widespread threat, and it really just depends, right, on exactly where the storm's set up. But I know Bank of America Stadium has policies on this. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about that today, but I'm sure that Truist Field does as well. So we'll kind of be keeping an eye on that 30-mile radius or a 10-mile radius that is from the stadium. Typically, it's within 10 miles, 30 minutes. You got to kind of uh, clear out. But 8, 9 o'clock, things are mostly dry. So again, I mentioned it's going to be pretty quick moving throughout the day, and we are looking great heading into Monday. Things will be clearing out very, very nicely. Now, I mentioned the fact that we could see a few strong storms earlier in the show. Not sure if you guys tuned in to Wake Up Charlotte Weekend earlier. If you did not, this is part of a larger storm system that is creating a strong storm potential and really a severe weather risk from pretty much northern Louisiana, or at least the high risk that is, all the way towards southern Illinois. But the risk of low to moderate expands from pretty much South Texas all the way into Wisconsin. So it's a pretty expansive area. Now, this happens a lot with storms. So you probably heard this at some point, from myself, Brad, Larry, Chris, KJ, is that by the time these storms oftentimes get to the East Coast, they've weakened a bit. So we do have only a low risk here in the Charlotte area, but we were under low risk yesterday. And while we only had one official severe thunderstorm warning, I still think it's something that folks should be aware of, that we do have a chance of storms in the afternoon. It's not necessarily how many storms we have tomorrow, it's the strength of them. So tomorrow's primary impact, I think just like yesterday, is that frequent lightning in any of the storms, wind threat, isolated gusts up to about 60 miles per hour, small hail possible for most of the Charlotte metro. There is a low risk of some isolated hailstones over an inch, but yesterday most of our reports were closer to penny and dime size. An inch is about a quarter, so kind of like that. So we'll just be keeping an eye on that. And honestly, I don't really think there's a significant risk for flooding just because all these storms are going to be scattered just like they were yesterday. So it's a low risk, but a risk we'll watch nonetheless. The good news is this is not kind of a spin up wind shear kind of setup. So we're not anticipating rotating storms. So today, Charlotte Knights, Charlotte FC at home. Weather looks great tomorrow. Charlotte Knights are back. We do have a few storms in the afternoon, and it will get a bit breezy at times as that front is moving through. But after it does, we have great weather on the way to kick off next week. We're talking low to mid 70s on Monday, upper 70s Tuesday, but dry air and sunshine will make for great days to be outside. And then we'll kind of slowly, gradually climb back up to the mid 80s by Friday and bring in a few showers. Right now, as we look long range, we do have a few chances for rain for late Friday and into early Saturday of next week. But as of now, not anticipating a lot of risk for some widespread storms or anything like that. So we'll keep a close eye on it. Just wanted to give everybody a quick recap, of course, of the forecast heading into 2 big games for the Charlotte area. I hope you have fun, stay safe if you are heading there. And if you're not, or you're just an early riser, I hope to see you tomorrow on Wake Up Charlotte Weekend starting at 6 a.m. We'll be on from 6 to 8 and then again from 9 to 10. Have a wonderful day, folks, and a wonderful weekend, and hope to see you back here tomorrow. Have a great day.